It is 2024. Happy New Year, my friends. Let me get everything situated real quick. See, I can never see what the camera is going to see until I start the live. It's not like a regular video. That's why I always got to adjust everything for a moment, So let us see. Okay, that looks good. Okay, guys, let us know where you're at. What are you up to? What did you do for the new year? How's your cold training going? How's your breath work going? We're going to talk about some wonderful practices that are going to supercharge the new year for you because what right now is very important for a lot of people because it is the beginning of their new year. And so it means a new state of mind. And what you begin now is what you can maintain and grow all year. So we will talk about all of that here in a moment. Good morning, Creative Soil says, good morning, Tribe. The morning cold plunge is refreshing. It literally puts the thinking mind on hold. You are in the moment, the now. Yes, this is a wonderful aspect of the cold training because no matter what you're thinking or no matter what the mind wants to do, the cold is very real, very present, very real. And so when you go into the cold, bam, it doesn't matter what's going on everywhere else. Who's going to pick up the kids from swimming and what is going to be all that. That all just quiets down because the cold takes all your concentration. And remember, guys, when we go into the cold, the most important aspect is one, the breath or the mindset. Okay, I'm going in, and I'm going to force the body to adapt. You go in, but then you immediately take control of the breathing. The breath is the most important aspect. So when we go into the cold, either cold plunge or cold shower, the body's going to want to like this, go like that. And that produces anxiety within the organism, within the body. And so what we need to do is take control immediately. Long, slow exhalations. The key is to make the exhalation twice as long or even 3 times as long as the inhalation. And this is going to force the body to relax and to adapt, and you'll feel the difference. Yes? So this is really good, all right? Let's see. Teresa, hello, my friend. Good. Happy New Year. Says, what a beautiful way to ring in 2024. Cannot wait to see everything that unfolds, Nate, in your amazing universe of creations, co-creations. Blessing to you and yours. Yes, my friend, thank you for being a part of it. And same to you. Very excited for what this year holds. Yes. Although I don't do like New Year's resolutions and stuff. I mean, I used to be really into that kind of stuff because I wasn't doing it throughout the year. I was just, okay, well, there's all kinds of changes that have to come this new year. And so I'd have this big list of changes that would need done or things I wanted to change about myself and about my life. But then that just kind of went by the wayside and nothing really changed, for many years like that. Until now that I've learned to tap in deep to the subconscious mind and I understand how reality is created now, then it's you can change anything about yourself at any time. And so there's nothing that I was not doing yesterday that I want or need to be doing tomorrow. You know what I mean? As far as New Year's goes. But I understand a lot of people aren't like that, and that's perfectly fine. So that's what we're going to talk about. All kinds of good tactics, techniques for the new year. All right? Guys, share with us some of the things. So it's perfectly fine if you do have New Year's like goals. This is great. So let us know what they are. What are some things that you want to shift or transition or change or strengthen? All of these things. Pam says, hello, Nate, and all the participants of Thrive Like a Viking. Looking forward to being together in the now. Much love from South Africa. Yes, yes. I just saw a diagram about how big Africa actually is. And even though I've been to North Africa, did a bicycle tour of Morocco, but you can't even grasp how big. It's like 3 times, like 3 of the United States could fit into the continent of Africa, which is pretty mind-blowing. If you've been to the States and you know how you can drive for like 5 days nonstop and still be in the States, just in a straight line. So that's big. Gary Taproot, what's up, my friend? Val, hello, says hello, everyone. Happy New Year from Chile, 26, Northern Arizona. So happy to be here with you all. Love Mondays with the tribe. Yes, good to have you here. Brian A. Ree, good morning, Nate and tribe. Happy New Year, everyone. Much peace and blessings. Yes, yes, thank you. Jerry Bates, hello, my friend. We brought in the New Year's with a session in the new sauna tent, followed by tallow-cooked popcorn. I wonder where all these good ideas are coming from. Working on dropping the ego this year. All right, that's what we like to hear. Guys, Jerry used the link in the description and got himself a sauna tent, which, I go on and on about, and we use it all the time here. And it is the game changer of winter. So, yeah, hopefully you're liking that, Jerry. And the key is to leave leave the door cracked and to leave the baffle kind of open, and that is going to just make it like an incinerator in there, and so you can get that thing to 220 degrees Fahrenheit, no problem. Yes, over 100 Celsius. Yeah, it's wonderful. And then you go into the cold plunge. Oh yeah, contrast therapy. Lisa T, Happy New Year, Thrivers. Grateful for this group and the possibilities it brings to 2024. You got that right. Unlimited possibilities. Truly unlimited possibilities, because we're shedding limited beliefs, and that's what it's all about. That's what opens up our life. And so, hello, Crystal. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Carol Vance, Happy New Year. Yes, Matias. Thriving New Year, everybody. Yes, my friend. And let's see, Jody K, hello from Minnesota. Happy New Year, Viking fam. Yes, 8A Gardening and Clay. Successful Garden Design, Rachel, hello from the UK. Greetings, everyone. Very best wishes for 2024. Yes, look at all the love. Look at all the positive energy. This is what we like. This is what we want. Val says, didn't think about the exhalation being twice as long. I'm definitely going to try that. Oh yeah, very important, the breathing. And that's what we do like in the classes that I have here, or when I do one-on-ones with people and stuff, is we have to focus on the breathing. So it's very important, all right? Because when the breathing is calm, you will see that the mind can't really wig out. So this is the key. This is the key. Val says, my son is a physical trainer, and personal trainer probably, and his business always picks up with the new year. Yeah, many years ago I was a personal trainer for a while as well, when I was bodybuilding and stuff, and it would be super empty towards the end of the year, and then come January and February, it was jam-packed. Every piece of machinery, every treadmill, everything jam-packed. But then you just wait a little while and it dies off again. They're all the New Year's resoluters, you know? So, ooh, Spinster Mountain, I like this one. Says, Happy New Year, all. One of my New Year's goals, right speech, no gossip. Yes, kind words, kind thoughts, kind deeds. Yes, we will talk about this here, definitely. Okay, we will talk about this here, but let us get into a little meditation for a while, guys. Let us set the pace, all right? Get the mind right for the new year. We're going to just drop into a brief meditation all together so that we are in all different parts of the world, but it doesn't matter because we're all here now. Yes? So sit in a comfortable position. We'll do us a little meditation. So let us begin the meditation, my friends. And we begin by breathing as fully as we can together, deeply. Breathing in. Hold. Let it go. Breathing deeply in. Hold. Let it go. Again, breathing deeply as you can. Fill the lungs. Hold. Hold. Let it go. Now allow the body to breathe exactly as it wants to. During this brief meditation, there is no need to think about anything in particular or to try and do anything, really. This is a deep allowing. See how much you can allow this moment to be exactly as it is. The body is breathing for you. The intelligence of the body knows exactly how to sustain the organism. Just allow it. If there are noises in your environment, just allow them to be. And when you allow, briefly notice if you feel a sense of frustration with the noise, if you feel a sense of irritation. Just notice it. Briefly label it irritated mind, judgmental mind. Whatever it is, briefly label it and then let it go. Let it go. Watch it float out of the mind like a cloud passing in the sky. As you breathe in and out, rest your attention with the subtle sensation of air as it flows past your nostrils into the body, out of the body, into the body, back out of the body. Notice how the mind becomes quiet, still, or if the mind doesn't become quiet and still, this is okay too. Just notice the activity of the mind. Notice the quality of the activity. Remembering mind, planning mind, fearful mind, or maybe they're positive thoughts, which you treat them the same way. You just observe the quality. Hopeful mind, enthusiastic mind, yes. And then let it go. Let it go. Come back to the breath. As the mind becomes quiet and still, remain with the breath, but also you can begin to feel simultaneously the life force energy in the body. As you practice the meditation more and more, your ability to perceive energy, the flow of energy, increases dramatically. Feel not only the breath as it enters the body, but the energetic exchange with the atmosphere that is around you. Feel the sense of aliveness in the hands, the feet. Even though you are not looking at them, how do you know they're still there? Go within and feel. Feel the body. And just ride the wave of the breathing. Allow, observe. In this upcoming year, see how deep it can go. See how still the mind can become, how deep the sense of peace and joy that you experience can be. And you will find there is no limit. It is infinitely deep. You are training the mind to observe what is happening without becoming engaged. When you bring this practice into your day-to-day life, you will see tremendous benefit. Even the sound of my voice, you don't have to try to make sense of anything. Just allow the brain to do that for you. Whatever sound is coming to you, just allow it to float through the air and to play with your eardrums. Smiling the whole time. Together, let us take a few deep conscious breaths, breathing fully in. Hold. Let it go. Breathing deeply in. Hold. Let it go. Last one, fill the lungs. Hold. Hold. Let it go. So, if there is one thing, one practice above all that I would say is most important for this upcoming year, it is what we just did, a variation of that in some form for you. The key is consistency. The way to progress and to realization is not to sit one time a week for an hour and a half and try to meditate and get it all in. That's not nearly as effective as consistently doing it every day. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's enough. But make it part of your practice. Make it part of your life. And you will see the transformation that begins to happen in the way you relate to the world, in the way you relate to other people. Your life, the stresses in your life will begin to dissolve because they are mind created in the first place. And they will begin to dissolve. They will begin to evaporate. And you will see that there are no problems like the ego mind thinks that there are problems. There are situations that need to be dealt with, yes, but a situation is not a problem. And meditation, observing, will show you all of this because all of the answers already lie within you. And so 5 or 10 minutes we can take, every day, ideally. Allow the breathing, deeply allow the moment. Find a quiet space, although it doesn't have to be quiet. Especially the more you practice, you will see how the mind transforms, and you'll be able to practice and observe and stay with the breathing even while you're driving, even while you are standing in line, even while you are talking with somebody. You are always rooted in that sense of presence because that is the doorway into your true nature, the doorway in to the awakening. And we know when we train a muscle at the gym, we know how quickly, or if you've trained for a sport or trained for a dance routine, you know how quickly practice can improve the goal, can improve what you're doing. If you go to the gym consistently, your strength will improve. If you dance routine 1,000 times over, it will improve. But with the mind, the spiritual and neurological muscle of willpower and of the mind, it is 1,000 times more powerful than any other muscle, than any other thing. And so it will adjust and adapt and grow faster and more profoundly than any of the others, by far. And it will transition into your life. When you go to the gym, you become stronger, but not so that you can lift more weight in the gym, although some people do, but you will notice it in your day-to-day life. You'll notice that you're just stronger, more able, more capable of doing things. You feel better. This is the result of training in the gym. It is the same way times 1,000 with the mental training that we do here. And so, guys, you can share your experiences in the Discord chat, also in the comments of these videos. Other people read the comments. So even if you leave comments during the live chat, also you can leave them in the description afterward because comments are very helpful to other people because they relate. They say, okay, well, someone else is having a similar difficulty or they're having a similar experience or a similar breakthrough as me. So that can be very encouraging to people. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. So Val says, I need to work on my patience and living in the now. Harder than I thought it would be. Yes, definitely. It's a total reversal of the way that we're used to living. And we can see, if you guys are reading The Power of Now, hopefully you're working through it. I know many of you are because we've talked about it already. Then you will see the now. The now. It's a beautiful thing. Eventually, though, you will see that you never leave the now. You never can leave the now. Everything that has ever happened happened now. and your entire life unfolds in a single moment. But at first, with the ego mind that is trapped in time still, it views the now as like a tiny little thing that is just like passing by really fast. But the future is huge, infinite, and the past also is just huge and infinite. But the tiny little now is just fleeting. It's just insignificant. That's what the ego mind says. Because in the now, the ego mind doesn't exist. This is why. The fictitious character in the mind, the narrator, isn't real like we think that it is. And we self identify as that's me. That's who I am. Whatever this little commentator says, that's who I am. Most people aren't even aware that there is an ego mind or a commentator that is trapped in time. So, observation is the first step. Observation. So, the Love Waters, what's up, my friend? Says, aloha, brother. Hope you have a fantastic new year. I've been a Wim Hof method practitioner for years and wanted to recommend the breath and cold to all your viewers who may be making positive change. Absolutely. This is what we're all about. So, see, guys, the Love Waters, our friend in Hawaii, has highly recommends it. And what am I constantly going on about? The Wim Hof, basically the Wim Hof. I mean, over the years, I've made it my own in a way, but essentially, yeah. I mean, yes, thank you for the recommendation, my friend. And I hope that you and the family have a wonderful year, definitely. It's always on the back of my mind. I would love to get to Hawaii sometime and visit with you guys. It would be a trip, who we are now, would just be... as compared to the last time we saw each other, things were very different. So yes, thanks for being here, brother. And yes, Lisa of Light says, happy epic 2024, Viking Tribe. That's what I like to hear, epic. Yes. So Spinster Mountain said, one of my New Year's goals, right speech, no gossip, kind words, kind thoughts, kind deeds. Yes, my friend. So here is and I realized this over several years when I was teaching meditations at the Buddhist temple. I was living with the monks, basically. I mean, I spent all my time there with them. And I was diving deep into the Buddhist philosophy and everything. And really, so right speech, right action. Yes. Okay. The Noble Eightfold Path, of course. And here is one thing I came to realize, that there's two routes by which people try to do these kind of things. And so if we are trying, at first it's like an effort. We have to try to to say the right thing, try to do right speech, right action, right effort. Yeah, we have to. And so we have to have like a set of parameters. Okay, well, what is right? What is right speech? What is right thought? What is right? What is all of this? And then we have to try to act in that way. So I was having a hard time with that many years ago when I was working through those things. I was like, well, that kind of seems like acting, doesn't it? If we are, okay, so what are the parameters that I have to act upon? Well, you can't say this. You have to do that. You have to, like commandments almost, although there are no Buddhist commandments. It's so it's like, okay, well, then we're going to try to act like this. And so I did that for a number of years. But it didn't feel right. It felt like such an effort. And so then when the sort of awakening finally happened, the transformation, the shift happened, all of a sudden, it became crystal clear that all of the answers that you need come from within, come from presence. When the ego mind finally subsides for good, what you are left with is a flow of light, a flow of infinite energy, of infinite wisdom and knowledge. And it's the same infinite wisdom and knowledge that is the source of your being as well. It's not localized to me, Nate, in any way whatsoever. It's not owned by me or anybody. It's the source of all. And so when the ego mind, the one that was trying to act in the right way, when that one sort of dissolves, when the illusion is seen through, then all of a sudden you are compelled from within to do all of the right things. You don't need any kind of literature. You don't need any kind of commandments. You don't need any kind of set of parameters. Nobody has to tell you. You don't need any of that because the infinite wisdom within already is allowed to shine through. And so it says, okay, you just start living in a way that is automatically. This is what blew my mind. Once I got away from the Buddhist stuff and then I really had the transformation, then when I look back at the Buddhist stuff now, I'm like, wow. Every single thing, I understand it all perfectly now. I mean, every single thing makes sense. The right action, right thought, right speech, right livelihood, all of that falls in line by itself. There's zero effort that has to be made. The only effort that would have to be made is to evaporate the ego mind. Yes. Jeffrey says, good morning, Nate and Thrive Tribe. Thank you for the breathwork meditation and focus on the now. Definitely, yes. The now is another word for presence. The now is another word for being. The now is another word for the infinite spirit, for the mind of God, or the Holy Spirit. All of these can be synonyms. Yeah. So, guys, let me know. Let me know what your things that you plan on changing, or your intention for the new year. Let's set the intention right now. This is very important. So, what are your intentions for the new year? Yes. Carol Vance says, it helps if I picture my lungs inflating when I think breathe in and deflate when I think breathe out. Yes, definitely. This can be helpful at first. Yes, in and out, in and out. And when it comes to, and I want to give you guys a couple of tips about some things here in a moment. The Cosmic Butterfly says, thank you for sharing your knowledge, brother. Appreciate you. I'm on day 7 of the Master Cleanse, and your info was simply the best I found during my extensive online research. Happy Now Year. Good one, Cosmic Butterfly. Yes, that is good to hear. You're on day 7 of the Master Cleanse, so many of you guys here right now know what that is like. And so, very good, my friend. Congratulations. That's very important. That is powerful. And you're starting the new year in the right way. So, good job. And let's see here. Let's see what you guys are saying. Matthias says, even during the darkest days, only in terms of physical light, my inner light is shining ever brightly. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. The inner light is the brightest of all, and there's no doubt when we allow it to uncover. Lisa of Light says, dropping my ego allowed my greatest growth. Yes, it will do that, definitely. Once the ego mind gets out of the way, then you can transform the things that you need to, that you want to in your life. All right. So one of the things, guys, that I would say for this new year, if you haven't already, then it's multifaceted. Okay, so we have the breath work, we have the cold training. All right, so we have the mind work, the meditation, but we also need a physical work. All right, so I highly recommend to you guys kettlebells. Kettlebells are a phenomenal tool. And I used to be personal trainer. I used to be really into the bodybuilding community and stuff when I was younger. And I've been in and out of the gym, my whole life and stuff. And so when I found when I found the kettlebells, and really got into them, there's no other training that I will ever need in any way. It is so perfectly functional that this is all that you need, guys. A couple of kettlebells of various sizes. And if you're getting the kettlebell and if you're new to it, the only 2 movements you need to perfect at first are going to be the kettlebell swing and the kettlebell clean and press. All right, those are 2 movements. Get really good at them. And yes, So I highly recommend this because you want the physical training as well. You need this as well, guys. It is not just um, that we sit there, that we sit and we think about things too much or so much. We have to actually physically do them. This is very important. This is what the cold training is about. This is what, reading the books are about and doing the practices, but also the physical work. We want to actually be exercising the body because our bodies are designed to move. I mean, move and flow, definitely. And so if we are stagnant, if we are sitting all the time, we watch something on TV or we watch here, we watch there, and we're not moving, it's like the energy is like water. Think what happens when water becomes stagnant. It becomes rancid quickly. But when it's flowing through a creek, when it's flowing through the rapids and it's getting oxygenated and the energy is moving, think of that and how clean and powerful that water can be. The energy within us is like that water, except 1,000 times more powerful. And so we need to move the energy, all right? So get you some kettlebells if you don't already have them, and make it part of your morning routine or whenever you need to work out or whenever you need to do your practices. And it's phenomenal, guys. You're going to love it. The kettlebell, what it does for the body, for the posterior chain. Okay, we spend so much time in the sitting position now and in the driving position, so much, and it weakens that whole backside. Yeah, the lower back, the middle back. How many of you have back pains, little back pains, knee pains, hip pains, all that kind of stuff? And we're told that, well, it's just a natural part of getting older. Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be. We need to train the other way. So we need to, and there's no finer movements, more functional than the kettlebell. So you get these movements, do the kettlebell swing, the kettlebell clean and press, and do them consistently, and you will see. If you need more assistance with developing a routine, we can do that. Very simple, but it has to be simple and effective so that it can be stuck with. That's the important thing. And so for that reason, just those two movements is all that you will need, and you're going to start feeling how it transitions, just like the meditation. See, it's all the same thing, guys. It's all the similar one. So when you start training physically properly, then you will see that it transitions into every part of your life. And you will be able to walk up the stairs easier. You will be able to pick up your grandkids easier. You will be able to shovel the snow all day or however long you have to do it. You'll be able to, it'll translate into being just all around more fit and healthy and happy and capable and all of the above. You see, just like the meditation translates into all other parts of your life, how your irritability is lessened, your frustration is lessened, your suffering dramatically decreases, the suffering you bring into the world dramatically decreases. See, it's all the side effects. So this is where it's at. This is just where it's at. So get you the kettlebell. All right. And you don't have to think about it. What's good is like in the morning when you make all this stuff part of your morning routine, you don't have to sit there and think about it. Be like, okay, dread it for a long time. Oh, that's going to be painful. No, just don't even think about it. Just start doing it. Just do it. Do the meditation, do the cold training, do the breathing, read the book, change whatever it is you need to change in your life. It is that simple. Get out of the storyline that, well, I always go back on my goals, or oh, I never follow through with that, or oh, I've tried so many times to, whatever it is, to stop smoking. I've tried so many times to change this or that about me, but it just never seems to work. It never will with that storyline in your head. So long as you're identified as that person that is sort of hard done by, and that person that is sort of never gets opportunities or never is able to stick with their goals, no, so long as that's your identity, that's what you will experience. It's the law of confirmation. You'll either actually experience that or you will perceive that you're experiencing that. It's the same to the subconscious mind. The actual situation doesn't have to be that way. You can just perceive it being that way, and that is the same for the ego mind. So, Yes, Matias says, my intention is to learn and experience as much as possible about organic, agroecological, and biodynamic farming. That's what we like to hear. Yes. Well, we just so happen to have a great channel for you called Garden Like a Viking, huh? And let's see here. Lisa T says 2024, focus a healthy middle way. Past thoughts and behavior tended towards black or white, which can be rooted in delusion. Now, now more balance, humility, resilience with my endeavors. Practices are very helpful. Yes, definitely, my friend. This is what we like to hear. And yes, the middle way. The middle way. Yes. Again, that is another thing that even someone like me who is naturally, the energies that flow through me are naturally extreme. And I've come to find this over my lifetime. And I used to be, when I was still in the ego mind, kind of young, I used to be really at the mercy of that kind of energy. And I'd be doing extreme things in life, and it would be bringing extreme highs, yeah, but then extreme lows, and then it got to a point where the extreme lows were just kind of all there was. And there wasn't like really those extreme highs anymore that I was needing. And so again, when I was doing the Buddha stuff, I would try to act in the middle way, but I had a total misunderstanding of the middle way at that time because I was operating from the ego mind still. And so I would think, well, the middle way means don't drink your hot or your coffee too hot or too cold. You have to drink it lukewarm. That's what the middle way means. No, that's not at all what it means. It means non-dual, no separation. There is no separation, absolute unity. There's only wholeness. The middle way means not two. There's one infinite reality. And when this is realized and the you is evaporates, then the middle way is another one of those things. The middle way is automatically, more or less, how the energy flows, how you start operating. So I've had to learn to work with those forces of the extreme ways. If you guys are prone to extreme ways, then you have to. Then I highly suggest don't hate the fire within you. Don't resent that intense energy within you. You have to learn how to control it. You have to learn how to control the fire within. Otherwise, it will become a raging inferno that burns down your life and everything around you. And it does that to most people that have it. But to some, they can learn to control it by allowing it to flow and direct it towards certain things. Yes, direct that towards constructive things, helpful things, beneficial things. Yes, you can become extreme in your health as well. So that's how we honor the energy that is flowing through us, but we're not without denying that. We just can't be having it be self-destructive anymore. So, okay. So Lisa of Light says, no judgments or expectations of others in 2024. Yes, I like that. I like that. Definitely. This is very important. This is very important that we find the wholeness within. We find the peace within so that other people, we are not expecting them to make us feel a certain way. Well, I need you to make me feel special or important, or I need you to make me feel needed, or I need you to make me feel in some way. I expect this from you. Okay, I'm going to do something for you, but then I expect this from you. That is all of the ego mind, and that is all of the storyline of the fictitious character in this screenplay of the ego mind life. And all of that can completely evaporate, and you can still be in the world. You can still be having relations with people, doing things, accomplishing things with people, but there's not that neediness anymore because I'm already whole and complete. So I don't actually need you to do anything for me. There's just infinite love and awareness and light, exactly as we are. And so this really has transformed a lot for me in terms of my relationships with other people, because there was always those things I would expect them to do things or make me feel a way, and then resent them when they didn't fulfill that. But all of that is gone now. All of that is just evaporated. Val says, I've noticed my attention span is about 2 seconds. I'm sure it's always been that way, but now my elderly self is aware. Better late than never. Yes, this is what it's all about. So many people, almost everyone, is going through their life totally unaware of how their attention span and thus the quality of their life has been hijacked. Yes? And this is being done to us purposely, though. The media, just all aspects of consumer culture, the media, politics, all of it, the internet, the social media, all of that stuff is designed to create a fractured mind in the people. Because without an attention span, without the ability to focus your energies on one thing, or to see things to their, to work out systems of thought to their logical conclusion. Without that ability, there's not the strength there. And so they want people that with the fractured mind. And so when I first started meditating, that was one of the biggest realizations, was I saw how fractured my mind was. I would sit down. Okay, I'm going to sit and meditate. Okay. I wonder what's going on. I wonder what this, but boom, immediately, just after one breath, my mind would just be all over the place. And sometimes it would be like 15 minutes before I would come back and realize, oh, wait, I'm meditating. Huh. Guys, if you haven't already, go to my Travel Like a Viking channel and watch the video that I made titled something like, I took a vow of silence for 10 days. It was about the Vipassana meditation. And I do it in a kind of a comical way. But I storytell my first experiences. I did a 10-day meditation course. Well, I've done several of them in my life now. But it was 10 days where you go there, you live there, and we meditate 10 hours a day. You get up at 4:30 in the morning, and you're eating vegetarian 2 meals a day, breakfast and lunch, that's it. And it's just super intense. I thought it was going to be nice and relaxing. And so it was so intense. I couldn't even... I can't exaggerate because it was just so intense. It broke me, of that. Being with myself is what it was. And so, yeah, watch that video. Leave me some comment, about that. And because I go and I show, like, I try to act out what the mind is doing, or what my mind was doing at least. But Val, don't worry about that. That will increase when you're eliminating, but you have to eliminate commercials and television and advertisements and all that stuff. You have to eliminate that from your life, because that is designed to fracture your mind. And you have to stay off TikTok and stuff like that. I don't know if you do, of course, but I'm just saying, we have to recognize things that are doing the opposite of what we want it to do in our life, and then we have to let them go. And so, Creative Soil says, I'm a flat earther. Well, the thing is, none of us, I don't know. So yeah, your attention span will increase. Do not worry. That's a byproduct of becoming more still and quiet within. Crystal Jones says, I'm letting go of people that are a negative influence in my life, even if they are family members, getting out of my head and into my body this year. Also starting the 12-week year for my goals. I've never heard of this, 12-week year for my goals. But that sounds cool. I will look into that. So yes, letting go of people that are a negative influence in my life, even if they are family members, getting out of the head and into the body. All right, so first thing, out of the head and into the body, we got to move. You got to gardening, growing, cold training, definitely. Sauna training, definitely. Breath work, yes. Some kettlebell exercises, definitely. All of that is going to get you out. Yeah, some yoga, some long distance walking, all of that kind of stuff. Remember, when the body moves, the brain grooves, definitely. So we need to move that energy, because when the body moves, the brain grooves, okay? So yes, and then to the other thing, you're letting go of negative influences in your life, which means people and stuff, even if they are family members. Now, This is a powerful this is a big thing with people because for so long we try to hold on to those relationships, and rightfully so. But that's because most people will go years or their whole life without really transforming themselves, without really changing the energies, the vibrations, the frequency, we can call it. And so when you change the frequency of your life, it is like changing the dial on a radio receiver. It just picks up a different broadcast. And it's not better or worse than any other channel, it's just different. And so this is very similar to your life, and people that are not on the same frequency. As you begin to change and transform yours with intention and purpose and positivity and light, those people stuck in those other vibrations and frequencies will just kind of go by the wayside. They'll just kind of go by the wayside, and you have to be you have to be prepared for that, because that will happen. But that is not a bad sign. Even people come and go in our life, and just the precious few remain around. But it is natural. Some people, there is a season for people in our life, and they come in during a certain season and then they go out, and they come in maybe again and go out. And this is absolutely natural. So it's nothing to fear. So you will probably experience this. Val says, haven't turned on the TV for 2 years, a step in the right direction. That's what we like to hear. Definitely. People can't even believe when I say I don't have a TV. That still sounds strange to a lot of people. But then when you go to the people's house with the television on, man, and the television, they're sitting there trying to talk to you, and the television's blah, 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 blah. It's all just seems so aggressive and loud, and it's just like pulling your attention, or when you're like trying to talk with somebody or have a conversation or be present with somebody, and I'm facing them and stuff, and the television's on, and we're trying to talk, and they're just like, oh yeah, just watch it, just mesmerized by the television. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, just looking at the TV. The TV. It's zapped in, casting a spell on them. You can see it in their face. It is so crazy. Iowa Viking, hello, my friend. Good to see you here. Says, sorry I'm late. I've had to watch on the replay. Yes, good. At least better late than never. Says, this year I have made the decision to change. On the 4th, I start the Master Cleanse for 10 days. Oh, yeah, good idea. The Master Cleanse is the real deal. Yes, the Master Cleanse is the real deal, guys. Let us know your experiences with it. We can help others with it. And in the Discord chat, I think I put a section called the Master Cleanse, so we can share our experiences, or if you have questions. Rachel says, I don't have a TV either. Haven't done for 12 years. Yes. Christmas with family. It was on all day. Yes. I know exactly what you mean. And that was actually an image in my mind when I was talking about that. And so yeah, it's a trip when you're not used to it, and then you go back into it. You see clearly how aggressive it is. And why is this? It's because you have perspective. It's the same with the mind. It's the same when you're totally identified with the mind. You don't even realize that there's this chatterbox and that there's this ego mind that is like running your life for you, and it's causing all this strife, and this all negativity, all stress, all suffering is caused by the ego mind. Completely. And they don't even realize this until there's perspective, until they can get away and see what is happening. The perspective, so it transitions perfectly to the television analogy. Only once you're away from it can you realize how aggressive and loud and almost dark magic it seems like, And so perspective is very important, but only once we're away from it. And likewise with the mind, only once we observe, once we are away, can pull ourselves out of it and observe. Clem Fandango says, Happy New Year to all. Yes, same to you, my friend. Do you have any intentions for this year? What would they be? Donna, hello, my friend, says, when I talk about the universe and such, my family thinks I'm crazy. I am working on not letting that affect me. Have you experienced this with family members? Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Now, the thing that I have come to over the years is to realize that people, not everyone is meant to awaken in the same time frame. Ultimately, everyone awakens, but not in the same sort of way or in the same time. And so people will only be able to relate to you from their current level of consciousness. And so when you're trying to, even though you want, because when we begin to find the peace and the serenity and the joy that is within us, our natural state, when we begin to experience that, it's natural that we want to share it with others. And so we can feel, God, man, you've got to try this because there's this whole world that's beyond the mind, and you got to shut off the TV and stuff. And people, if they're not ready to receive that, they're going to be like, who's this person? What, you think that you've got the answers to life? You think that you're better than me? Blah, blah, blah. The ego mind will go into all different kinds of defensive maneuvers, and so you will receive often hostility, negativity, backlash. Yes. But you have to realize, and that will disturb your peace as well. So you have to realize that people will come to the knowledge when they are ready for it. That's why I love this medium right here, YouTube like this, because all of you guys are actively seeking this out. I'm not trying to preach to anybody that doesn't want to hear it or whatever. I'm not trying, in my day to day life, I'm not sitting here doing this, talking to people about stuff like this, because there's not many that are ready for that yet and that can really receive that. And so that was a big thing that I had to realize. And you have to realize that um, people, even like your parents and stuff, they may never awaken. And that's perfectly fine because that is as it is. And not just parents, but anyone. And so long as they are unconscious, they are not even in control of their life. They don't have any free will whatsoever, so long as they are still unconscious, so long as they are still identified thinking that they're the ego mind. And so it's really in that realization arises a deep compassion because you see that they don't even know what they're doing. They don't even know how their life is operating, that they're not in control of their life. And they don't even realize the suffering that they're going through and that they're causing for other people, nor do they care. Because the ego mind wants to proliferate its suffering. The ego loves suffering because it strengthens the sense of self, which is false, of course, because there is no self. And so it loves that kind of suffering. And so you will be met with hostility a lot of times. You try to say stuff to even family members and whatnot, and you're going to seem like you're preaching and coming down on them. And so you know what you have to do? You have to say, okay, well, now is not their time. And I'm not the one to deliver this message to them. Okay. Because ultimately it makes no difference. I know it seems like it does at first, but once the ego mind evaporates, then it's like you see clearly that it doesn't make any difference if people awaken or not. It actually doesn't, because everything is whole and complete already as it is. We're not going anywhere. It's all here right now. It's like, okay, they can just keep dreaming. They can just keep dreaming. It's basically like a dream. But you have become lucid in the dream. And you say, okay, guys, you know that do you realize that this is a dream? That none of this is real? And that doesn't make any sense to them because they're fully in the dream. That's all that they know is the dream. And so when you awaken from the dream, you will find the pull. Others will bring drama into your life. Possibly they'll bring things into your life and want to pull you back into their dream. Well, hey, I've got this big storyline about what's happening and all that stuff. And you're just seeing right through the dream. But how do you explain to them? You don't have to. You just have to create the distance because I spent my whole life to awaken from my own dream. I'm not going to be pulled back into yours in any way. Jamie Copeland says, my intention is to be more purposeful and have structure with my time. Oh, this is a very good one. Very good one, guys. Remember the analogy I like to use. If you have a pile of gunpowder and you put it on the floor, you just lay it on the ground and you light it, it'll go flare up really, really hot and heavy, a lot of smoke, but it won't really do anything. But if you take that same pile of gunpowder and you focus the energies through the barrel of like a cannon, then all of a sudden the same amount of gunpowder has tremendous force behind it and it can boom, it can blow a cannonball through a ship, something like this. And it's the same with the energy in our life. If we just allow it to fizzle out all over the place, then it's not going to do anything. Even if there's a bunch of energy, it's not focused, and so it's not really going to accomplish anything. But if you take even that same amount of energy, or even less energy, and you focus it through the barrel, the metaphorical barrel of the cannon, then you can do things with it. And so then it can accomplish things, definitely. You have what seems like to other people an unlimited source of energy. But this is actually just your connection to being. So, yeah, more purposeful with the time, very important. Mornings are very important, at least to me, in my experience, because if you can do it in the morning, it's done. And this is important, guys. Brandon Edwards says, gotta let people be who they are. Always be who you are, though. Oh, absolutely, yes. Because you never know where that person is at in their journey. Each person has their own unique expression of the one infinite self, of course, the one source of creation that is inescapable, the energy. But each person is like a temporary individual expression of that energy. It's like a wave on an ocean. Each wave is temporarily its own entity, we could say, but it's never left the ocean. It's all the same water. It's just different waves, what appear to be different, and it's only temporary. They come and they go, just like a human life comes and goes, but it's always the water, the source of being. We are like the waves. Matthias says, great enthusiasm about anything is not well received by most people, like being enthusiastic about math in school. All other classmates think you should shut up because being enthusiastic isn't cool. Yeah, I can understand that, definitely. Yeah, I can understand that. There's a lot of times when I was just very enthusiastic about life in general, and people they just kind of don't want to hear that. In fact, I'm going to talk about that exact thing on my next Travel Like a Viking video. If you guys haven't watched those, go watch them. The Travel Like a Viking. I'm just started releasing them again. The next one is going to be, I'm back home after the island, after over a year abroad, and I come back home for the first time. And the reverse culture shock is almost too much to bear. It's overwhelming. I'll act it out. You'll see in the Travel Like a Viking. I'll release that on Friday at 12 noon. And that's the thing. I was coming back so pumped and enthused about life and all these new experiences. I wanted to tell everybody about how the world is. You just can't even imagine how it is. And people don't want to hear that. I mean, they kind of pretend like they do. They're like, oh yeah, how was your trip? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, we've been on vacation a couple times to the Bahamas, so we know what it's like to travel. Pfft, you have no concept of what I'm talking about as far as the world, and so it was just, it was received not how I thought it would, because I had changed so dramatically in just that year that coming back was like, Twilight Zone, man. Oh yeah, I had to get out again, So, Miss KC says, I find that when other people try to pull me into their dream, it's because they're not living in the present. I do my best to recenter myself in those situations when I can't remove myself. Definitely, yes. Oh, it's all because they're not living in the present. Yeah, because the dream doesn't exist in the same way in the now, of course, because the me doesn't exist. And so the storyline, the narrative doesn't exist. There is just everything that is now. And so, there's like 3 ways that you can take care of that. You can either change the situation. You can do something to change it. You can leave the situation, or you can accept the situation. And acceptance is the superpower, really. And we'll talk much more about acceptance in the future, because we're going to be getting into the power of now. So I hope all you guys are reading the power of now, right? We did chapter 1. So by the next time we'll do chapter 2. Maybe we'll do 2. Well, that's enough for one. Because, I mean, yeah. So we'll just do chapter 2 for next time. So we'll see when we want to do it. Maybe it will be next week. Maybe we should do it next Monday. And do the power of now reading. Yeah. Pam says the dreamer and the dream are the same thing. Absolutely. That's a wonderful analogy, because at night, when you go to Paris in your dream and all these little dramas are happening, everything, who has created the dream? Who is the dreamer? And who has created the dream? And where does it go to? How real is it? It seems real at the time, but then you wake up and you realize, oh, it was just a dream. And even though I was creating it, you say, but you don't have any experience of creating it. And it's the same in this reality. This is the dream. Right now we are dreaming in every sense of the word. But most people are like, they can't comprehend that because they don't have any experience of creating the dream. When you say you are the dreamer and the dream, they're like, well, that can't be true because I'm not creating the dream. But even at night, you're not creating the dream, yet you are the dreamer. Yeah? It just manifests. It just is. It is perfectly neutral. Lisa of Light says, all toxic, low-vibing beings have naturally dropped out of my life as I protect my energy and light. I'm ready to up my manifestation skills for my best life. That's what we like to hear. And this channel is pretty much all about that. You will get everything that you need, all the tools that you need for that here with us, definitely. And this is a big thing, guys. You have to protect your energy, especially at first. So if you, oh man, it's important. When I made the change from, I had to drop contact with every person I ever partied with, used anything with, drank with, everybody. Just had to go because I had to protect my energy. You know, I had to protect because the light was weak. I mean, it was always there, of course, but it was just covered. It was just like a little tiny flickering, smoldering ember. You know, the raging inferno had been reduced to a little tiny smoldering ember. And I had to protect that at all costs. Protecting it so that it could grow back into a raging inferno of cosmic proportion, which it is now, but it wasn't before. And so you have to protect your energy. So if you don't feel like going out and it's like, oh, these people are inviting me to this party or something, oh, I'm kind of a loser, I should be going out, put that out of your mind. That is nonsense. You have to protect your energy at all costs if you wish to realize the divine nature of your being, which there is nothing above that. There is no other goal more worthy than realizing your divine nature, the bliss of the divine. So, Cultivate Life says you can suffer. Suffer is the third. That's right. That's right. It could be the fourth. Or you could just suffer, which is what most people are already doing anyways. So it almost doesn't even need said. But yeah, exactly. You can change the situation, do something to change it. You can remove yourself from the situation, or you can accept the situation. Or you can just suffer. You can do nothing and just suffer. And that's what most people are doing without even realizing it. So, oh man, Pam says, yeah, someone once said to me, that's reality. I said to her, that is your reality. You choose it. Yes. See, so many people, that's a classic one. People that say, welcome to the real world. I used to hear that all the time when I was traveling, and I would come back and I would talk about things and stuff, and people, well, I live in the real world. So see, I've got to work a job 70 hours a week, and I've got to do this and that because I live in the real world. And I was thinking, what real world? The world isn't even real anymore to me at that point, you know? It definitely isn't now. But at that point, I was just beginning to understand that stuff. And so it was like, what are you talking about? You live in the real world, or welcome to the real world. Your real world is not desirous to me. And so I was just creating a different real world, one of just international travel and meeting thousands of different people and experiences and all of that while I was young and fresh and my knees were good and my back was strong and all that stuff. I mean, they still are, but not like when you're 20, 25, you know. Um, So yeah, that's man. And most people when they're welcome to the real world. That is just the ego mind saying, see, suffering is our natural state. See, the world does suck. That's the ego mind, all talking, 100%. So okay, guys, let's see if there's any more questions. Leland says, I'm working on being more in the now and present. I have always been focused on future and overworking, stretching myself to thin, almost to the point of sickness. My first meditation brought tears of release and relief. Listen to that, guys. This is wonderful. Yes, definitely. Definitely me working on being more in the now and present. So the way that we will do this is we will go within to the body, to the energy body, to the breath work. We will use the breath. We will feel the energy, feel the hands, feel the body. This is how we do it. Definitely. Rooted in the now. Creative Soil says, how do we break the chains of poverty? Yes, we will talk about that in its own specific episode. Definitely. Right. Yeah. Jeffrey says, the real Matrix zombie world. No thanks. Yeah. Oh, I get it. Definitely. So, okay, guys. Well, I'm about to, because I was at a drum circle all night last night. Oh, man. It was awesome. Super cool and a great way to bring in the new year. So, but I was up much later than I normally am because I have a very structured life at this time. And I sleep from 11 to 7, you know, so getting to sleep at like 2 o'clock, woohoo, you know, so I missed my morning workout. So what I'm going to do as soon as we're done here is I'm going to go downstairs and do the kettlebells, and it's going to feel phenomenal. And I'm going to get the sweat on, and I'm going to get the energy flowing, and it just feels fantastic. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to have the Viking eggnog, which is a half liter of raw milk, 2 tablespoons raw cream, 5 raw eggs, and 2 tablespoons blackstrap molasses and 2 tablespoons maple syrup with some cinnamon and nutmeg. Blend it all up together, drink it down, and you feel like Superman or better than. So, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Ooh, financials. Okay, Matias says yes, finances would be a great topic. That would be a great topic. Although I am not an expert on that. In the sense that guys, I've never had a loan. I've never had debt of any kind ever. I mean, I've never borrowed money in any form. So that's a double-edged sword. You know, one, I have no debt and never have, and then two, you don't have like a line of credit. So getting the property and all that, that's why it's going to be interesting how it all has to come about, you know, how it's all going to have to happen, because it's not like, oh, well, look at all my past credit stuff, because it just never made any sense to me. I could not possibly, you know, because I didn't have the money. I can't like borrow money, and then that just doesn't make sense. Borrow money and think that you're rich. It just, so yeah, so everything has always been paid for in cash, 100%. And I just like it that way. It makes more sense. So that is my financial advice. Don't spend money that you don't have, and limit your desires. If you're feeling like, oh, I need to get more, I need this car, I need this thing, I need that. No, you don't need it. Or you need to do something that will get you more money. But don't be taking out money on credit. What is the saying? Do you remember the saying, guys? The ultimate saying, and it stuck in my mind when I was young. Gold is the money of kings. Silver is the money of gentlemen. Debt is the money of slaves. Yes? Wait, it was like gold is the money of kings, silver is the money of gentlemen, barter is the money of peasants, and debt is the money of slaves. And this is true. So, Jeffrey says, Nate, I've never been one for eggnog, but I'd be willing to try yours. Do you have a recipe short or something? I haven't made one yet, so you'll have to go back and just listen to what I just said because that's the recipe. But I will make one, yes, once I start making those kind of videos again. But I've had to protect my energies and stop making those videos on the gardening channel just for now. Matias says, I never had debt, but more income would be great. Yes, definitely. And that we can talk about because I definitely have suggestions on that. Don't focus on the money and don't go for hourly jobs because nobody ever like really got rich working for hourly. You know, you need to do things that are, don't even worry about the money at first. Do something you are passionate about and then the money will come. And make sure that it's an open-ended way of money, that it's not hourly. You can't sell units of your life by the hour. I just, because that's all that you'll ever get, you know. But some people love that kind of structure in their life. But my recommendation to you as a young man, 20-something, would be to do something that you really are passionate about. Find it and then learn to do it the best of your ability. Make it so that people feel like they are gaining something from you, like provide something for the people, and the money will all come. It will come. And visioneer, the highest version of yourself. And this has been true my whole life. So Carol Vance says, I have accepted that I can't get my family to come with me on this journey, but they see my excitement and listen, I think. Oh, well. Yes, definitely. The people around you that are meant to see it, they will see it. And the energy will just naturally saturate the environment. When you're vibing super high, that's why people like to be around you or they like to have you around because the energy is uplifting. They don't, maybe they can't even put their finger on it. They just feel good around you. And because the atmosphere, you know, it's not anything you are doing in particular. It's the light that is flowing through you. It's your natural state of being. All you've done is got the ego mind out of the way to dissolve. And so it's just the radiant positivity of being. And people love that. And so they will see that, and just by osmosis, they will make little changes in their life, or maybe they'll be driven to do something else. But here's the thing. At that point, it doesn't matter to you if anyone else changes or does anything. It doesn't matter at all. Even your parents, even your siblings, even your close ones, it doesn't matter if they awaken anymore. At that point, when you become radiant light, you know what I mean? So that's the sort of double-edged thing. But it happens. And only then, once you don't need that from them, does it actually happen. They begin to change and become more healthy and become more just naturally raising their vibration. Yes? When you have two logs, and one log is burning really bright, and one log has just started to barely burn a little bit, you put the two logs together, and what happens? This log makes this one start burning super bright, and you pull them apart, and now they're both burning super bright. It didn't take anything away from the first log, but it definitely gave light to the second log. Yes, good analogy, right? Okay, we're almost done, guys. So Jerry says, I went into debt to buy the family farm, and it was a journey of mythical proportions of work. I am grateful for the opportunity, but it certainly took me away from friends and family. Yeah, see, trade-offs. It is definitely trade-offs. And I will probably have I don't have a fear of going into debt for something like that, of course. See, you had a goal. You had a mission, a goal. This is important. This is different, very different. You can use debt in the right way. Not all debt is crazy, but most of it is. Things like cars and credit cards and stuff like that. Yeah. So, okay, guys, it's been real. And so let me know in the comments or in the Discord chat if you have questions about the cold training and stuff. I want to make a breathwork specific video, just like a 10-minute video about the breathwork. Yes. And we will be here. Make sure that you're getting the book and that you're reading. We've done chapter 1 already. Let's do chapter 2 the next time. It might be just next week that we'll do it during the Monday live. What do you think? Yeah? We might just do it then, because this book, guys, if you're reading this book truly, then you are no doubt going through some transformation. Or if it's your first time, especially, even if it's your second or fifth time, every time you will gain something from it, because this is one of the books that is pure truth. Each sentence, it's the kind of thing that you read like 2 sentences and that's enough food for thought for the day, even, if you see deeply. Or you can just read it, yes, and just feel it within. All of it is wonderful. And we will talk about, so make sure that you make note of any questions that you have that arise within you. Any kind of, oh, that doesn't make sense, or, oh, I wonder what he means by that. If you need clarification for anything, we can do that 100%. Because this book was written from the perspective of infinite being, infinite source, infinite light, the same one. And so the ideas aren't particular to Eckhart. It is the divine light that is speaking, and you can see this. The divine light in you will recognize that and say, oh, yes, of course, yes. This is how it is. So, all right, guys. Okay, Jamie likes the idea of the breathwork video. Yes, we'll do that. Definitely. Going on a Phenomena says, bro, you have always been inspiring. We should link up sometime. This is Spencer. Oh, nice. It sure would be great to see you again sometime. Much love, my friend. Yes, definitely. That would be a trip. It's been many years, my friend. A lot has changed in that time. Jeffrey says, thank you, Nate. Thank you kindly, Nate. I'm grateful for your awareness, energy, and now time this morning. Cheers, Thrive Tribe. Yes, my friends. Okay, let us end in the wonderful way. Leland, $20. Thank you very much, my friend. He says, here's to the new year. Yes, thank you. We don't get much tips on this channel, but that's nice. Crystal says, I'm very thankful for Nate and all of those that participate. It makes the world feel less lonely. Much love to you all. Yes, I feel you, my friend. I feel you. Absolutely. Definitely. A good spiritual community is very important. Yes. Right. Trish says, I think having more frequent discussions about the power of now is a good idea. Otherwise, it will take all of 2024 to finish. Yeah, I know. So let's see. How many chapters are there? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, yeah, 10. Okay. So to make more frequent ones, we're just going to have to do them on the Mondays. So let's just do next Monday will be the power of now. Because, this is exactly what we talk about on this channel anyways. So have chapter 2 read by next Monday. Okay? And then we'll just go from there. So, infinite spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say. Infinite spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say. Infinite spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say. This is literally true, my friends.